Hello everyone! Welcome to Pango's Table Art Show. My name is Alfredo Pango. I'm a chef and the creator of Pango's Table Art. In this show, we take different food items like fruits and vegetables and make decorative pieces that you can use as centerpieces and decorations. This episode, I will be teaching you how to make a centerpiece out of cabbage. But before we start, I want to call on my guest, host, who will be joining me and helping me today. She's an actress, a fashion model, a fashion consultant, a business owner, and a host. Please welcome the beautiful and talented lovely Dana Lona.
Hello Pango and hello everyone. It's a pleasure and an honor to be a guest on Pango's Table Art Show. It's a very unique show and I'm so excited. Thank you for having me here.
Hi lovely, how are you? And thank you for joining me today.
I'm pretty good and I'm so excited to learn the secret on how to make this beautiful fruit and vegetable carving.
That's awesome, lovely. In today's episode, I'll be teaching you as well as our viewers how to make a centerpiece out of cabbage leaves.
Wow, sounds good. I can't wait. Let's get started.
Yes. Okay, lovely. First thing, let's get our tools and ingredients ready. But before that, don't forget to wash your hand.
Okay.
We have to introduce to you the following tools: and a chef knife or long carving knife, a paring knife, a pillar, a pair of scissors, bamboo skewer, chopping board, and a lard bowl. And our ingredients: we need a white cabbage, carrots, baby carrots or a regular carrots, a bowl of gelatin mixed, a bunch of green leaf vegetables, a watermelon, and a pineapple.
Okay, so we have everything we need. We are all set.
That's right. Here it is. Lovely. How to make a watermelon vase.
Okay.
First, you have to get one piece or one whole watermelon.
Wow. Okay.
But be sure you have to use a sharp chef knife or a long carving knife. Okay. Cut in the middle of the watermelon. No, it's okay. It's okay. This is what you have to do, right?
Okay.
This is half now. You have to separate this one half, and you can use another purpose, right? Now, to make a base, cut at the bottom of the watermelon. There we go. Be sure don't cut your finger.
Make sure, guys.
Okay. All right. That's the way it is, right?
Okay.
Now, you have this even. You can decorate this watermelon base. It's up to you. And now, you have to get also a watermelon, a pineapple to form into a base to make higher a little bit there. Okay, cut this one like 3/4, just right here. Then keep this aside, and you can use like a fruit salad, whatever, etc., etc. But this is what you have to put on top of the watermelon.
Wow.
And then you can use the bamboo skewer and stick it together beside there, right? That's it. And then form into 8 pieces of bamboo skewer stick together. And that's around the watermelon. Then after that, use the scissor or the pliers to clean up, to cut this, right? And then like that. That's it. All right. And then once you have this one already prepared, what you have to do is you can start making the cabbage.
Okay.
How to make a cabbage, right? The cabbage lilies.
First,
you have to get the cabbage.
Okay.
And then to remove the leaves, it's easy to use the water running fast.
Okay.
And it's really easy to remove one by one. And you can stick it out. This is the cabbage, right?
Okay.
And then use the core paring knife or the paring knife. Then cut a V shape into the core of cabbage. This one here. See the one here? That's it. Yeah. All right. Now, the first thing you have to do, you have to use the scissors too, and form into a heart like this. See that one here? Yeah. Form into a heart.
Form into a heart.
Yes, your heart.
Wow.
Your heart. Alright, lovely. Oh,
My
sorry.
heart.
Okay, here we go. Here we go like that. So, that's your heart.
See that? It's a heart
Now,
shape.
the next step we have to do is keep this on the side and we
Okay.
use the carrots again. Use the pillar, clean it up, right? Clean up all around and form a stamen. Form a V shape.
V shape.
Yeah, V shape. Here we go. Let's put away aside and here we go.
Wow.
That. Put a V shape here. This one. Cut. Form it to a stamen. Pyramid shape. Look at that. And then,
Wow.
the next step is what you do is get another carrots, or you use these carrots, right? Then form into a base under the cabbage.
Okay.
You don't have to, you know what I mean, right? Okay, here we go. This is what you have to do now. Put first here, and stick in here, right? In the middle of the cabbage, and here we go. That's it. See that one?
Wow.
And then what you have to do is dip into the gelatin. I have a gelatin is prepared
Okay.
already. And this is what you do. Dip around, right? And you can see this cabbage now. Just all around the cabbage leaf or the heart. You see, and this is what you see this one. See the one there?
See that, guys?
Yeah. You see the one?
See the lily.
Guys?
The cabbage turned into lily.
Yes, the cabbage totally and it looks shiny. Lovely. Now let's start making a bouquet. So
Okay.
now we are ready all this cabbage and
Okay.
stick together into the watermelon vase. And here we go. All right. You
Okay.
see it already how
You want
I
me to
made?
help you?
You have,
Okay.
yeah. Please
Here.
help me. And then you have to stick it at the center of the watermelon. All right.
Okay.
Sure.
How
you
about
have-
here?
Yeah. But
Okay.
first you have to put that gelatin too.
Oh, gelatin,
Yeah, dip in the
okay.
gelatin. You're right. First we have to put the gelatin
Okay.
together,
this one.
and then one by one, make sure that organize your lily flowers. You're right.
Can I
The
put
bouquet
here?
flower. Yeah. You put
way.
there,
Okay.
and then all that one the cabbage
And there's
there. You will
more,
see. Okay,
too.
put together.
Put this one.
Push together. Yeah. You can help me out. Put this. Right. There we
Okay.
go. Okay. One more time.
Let up.
Okay, another more. Help me. That's it. That's
Here.
the way how it works. And
Okay,
then
here.
go around. Make sure that your
Alright.
flowers looks good. You know that one there, and another one over there.
All right.
Right.
Here.
There we go. One more.
One more.
All right. You can make it simple and easy, and you can use this.
Dip it
By the way,
and-
if you lose the carrot stamen, you have to put it back right there, and
Okay.
then another one. And here we go. And now I can show you the finished product. You can use also the red and white cabbage lilies.
Wow.
And here is the finished product
And
of the
here's
white.
our finished product.
That's it. That's right. There we
Here,
go.
guys. Wow,
There we
Pango.
go. Yep.
Wow.
That's right.
This is amazing. It's beautiful. I can imagine how a cabbage can transform into a bouquet.
That's right. That's
Right, Pango?
That's right. Lovely.
Oh my God, great
Then you can use this
presentation.
one as your
Wow.
presentation of your sweet table that you can see over here. Sweet
Mm-hmm.
table, anniversary, birthday party, or anything else for the event.
Wow.
Yep.
Once again, these steps can be found on Chef Pango's book, Pango's Table Art. Right, Pango?
Yes, lovely. And if they want to follow the step-by-step process on how to dye bamboo skewers, how to make the gelatin mix, they can find it in my book, Pango's Table Art.
That was fantastic, Chef Pango. We were just wondering how long you've been doing this.
Oh, I've been doing this for since I was 16 years old. I've been working in a 5-star hotel.
Wow.
And also, I'm working the passenger cruise ship in Miami, Florida. Then I come to Toronto, Canada, and I'm very lucky that someone sponsored me to be here in Canada. That she is one of the best of the president-owned of the Paradise Banquet Hall.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
That's
Once
right.
again, thank you so much for having me here. It's my pleasure and my honor to be on your show, Table Arts, Pango's Table Arts Show.
Thank you so much, lovely, and hope you enjoy the show. I'm Pango.
And I'm Lovely.
You are watching
Pango's Table Art Show.
And now, let me introduce you one of the best chefs in town. Please welcome Chef Alex.
Hi, Pango. Thank you for having me.
Hi, Chef Alex, and welcome to Pango's Table Art Show. How are you today?
I'm doing very, very good. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
Excellent.
What's the menu, Chef? What's the menu out for today?
Well, today I thought we would prepare a dish called ossobuco alla milanese. Okay, it's a veal shank that is prepared with tomato sauce, beef broth, a little bit of mixed vegetables, and then it's served on top of a saffron rice. Saffron risotto.
How many ounces do you want, Chef?
So the ossobuco itself, including the bone, is around 6 ounces of meat.
Wow.
Okay. What you want to do is when you're going to order your ossobuco, you go to your butcher and you ask him for about a 1-inch piece cut of veal shank.
That's good.
Which is the English name for it.
All right. So, for how many people are there you're gonna cook? Or how many portions?
Well, today we're going to be preparing for 4 people, and so with that, you just go ask your butcher to cut you these nice shanks that I have here today.
Okay, Chef. So are we gonna start cooking? Do you need help to do what I'm doing right now?
We can get started right away, and yeah, if I need your help while we're working along, I'll ask you to help me.
All right,
That's
great.
okay. So, first off, we've got the veal ossobuco. What you want to do is get your pan nice and hot. So we're going to put it up to a high heat. You want to start by seasoning your meats. So we're going to take a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper. Okay. Now remember, you need to season both sides so you get a good full flavor out of your meats. Once again, a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper. Make sure that's all nice in, rubbed in really good. Make sure they're good and marinated. What the flouring is gonna do is gonna help to brown the meats. Okay, and at the same time too, it's gonna thicken the finished sauce that we're gonna be making the ossobuco with. Okay, so what you wanna do is season both sides, make sure they're good and seasoned, get some good flavor out of the meat. Then we're gonna take a little bit of flour and we're gonna lightly dust it. With the flour, we're gonna flour both sides and 2 tablespoons of butter.
Look at that. See, guys? It's good. It's good. Just the butter smell good.
So what you want me to do is make sure the pan is good and hot.
Yes,
Okay.
Chef. Yeah.
And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your ossobuco and dust off excess flour and place it into the fry pan.
Wow.
Now, when you're placing your meats into any hot oil, you always want to place them away from you. Just in case any splashing, you don't want to get the oil to splash up onto you. At least like this, it splashes away, right? Keeps you nice and safe. So we're going to be using onion, Spanish onion, celery, carrots, and garlic. So what I've done ahead of time is I've already chopped a little bit up and have it ready to go. That is called my mise en place.
All right, Chef.
Okay? One thing with cooking is you always need to be prepared.
Okay.
Make sure you have your preparation done before you start cooking. So like that. Then we got the celery. Same idea with the celery, straight down, a few millimeters thick. What these are going to do is they're going to help to flavor the sauce that the beef, that the veal shanks are going to cook in. Okay, and also at the same time is going to be part of the dish.
What's
So
the next one?
now we've got most of our ingredients cut up, chopped, ready to go. We're going to flip the ossobuco, get some more color on it. So if you can see how the flour started to brown nicely,
That's right. That's right. That's good.
and we're getting some good color on the ossobuco. Okay, so now that they've browned,
Okay.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer them to the pan that we're gonna be braising them in. Okay, so from the pan into the braising tray. Okay, so now using the same pan, leave the oil, leave the butter in there. We're gonna start to saute our vegetables. We're gonna start off with about a 1/4 cup of onion. Half a cup of celery, half a cup of carrots, and about a tablespoon of garlic. Okay, we're gonna mix that all around nice. Make sure it picks up all the little brown bits and pieces that have formed on the bottom of the pan. This is gonna be the basis of all your flavor for your dish. You should always season your food in levels, in series, depending on how you're cooking it. It helps to build flavors and build the actual dish. Okay, so now once they've been sauteing for about a minute or two and the onions have become translucent, what that means is that the onions have just changed color ever so slightly, that they look a little bit more clear than a solid color. We're gonna take about half a cup of white wine and add that to the pan to deglaze. And what you wanna do is you wanna let this reduce down to till it's about dry. We are going to add 1 cup of beef broth, which I have prepared ahead of time.
Yes. Okay.
Now, in all cooking, the best things are house-made. So I made this beef broth ahead of time. You can go online, find a recipe for how to make a beef stock, but I prefer it over any store-bought canned stuff because obviously everything homemade, you know what you put into it, you know what's good, what's all good in there and what isn't. So we're gonna season just a little bit more salt. Now we're gonna take a couple chili flakes and put it in there just to give it a little bit of bite. Okay, we're gonna get that come to a nice boil, and then we're gonna add about 1 cup of tomato puree. Okay, this is already this is a store-bought Italian plum tomato puree, which we're gonna add 1 cup to the dish.
Wow. That's
Okay.
cool, man.
So now, once you got everything good incorporated, you're gonna bring it to a nice boil and let it reduce ever so slightly for about maybe 10 or 15 minutes total time. Once it's all reduced, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this liquid, we're gonna pour it on top of the ossobuco.
And then what's the next step?
Make sure that it's all good and coated.
Yes.
After that, you're gonna take a piece of foil paper,
Cover it.
you're gonna cover it,
Yes.
you're gonna have a preheated oven.
How many minutes inside the oven, chef?
You're gonna preheat your oven to 350 degrees Celsius,
Okay.
and you're gonna put it into the oven for approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes. Now, to follow up that dish, to serve the ossobuco alla milanese, we're gonna be doing a risotto alla milanese.
Alla milanese.
Okay, so now the ingredients that you're gonna need for that is, again, some finely diced Spanish onion, a little bit of Spanish saffron,
Okay.
some butter, the arborio rice, salt, pepper, olive oil, and a little bit of white wine and beef stock. Okay? So now what we're gonna do is to get this all started is we're gonna have a nice hot pan. We're gonna add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And once again, this is gonna be enough for serving for 4 people to go along with the ossobuco. So once your oil is nice and hot, pan is nice and hot, we're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of onion. Now, you don't want to be too shy with the onion because the onion's gonna be what gives this risotto most of its flavor. And once again, we're gonna cook it down till the onions are just about translucent, and that means that they've changed color ever so slightly. Same time, seasoning. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, now, once the onions have cooked down ever so slightly and they've become a little bit translucent, we are going to add our risotto to it. Now, a lot of people get very intimidated by risotto, the idea of it, the thought of it, whatnot, but it's quite simple. It's very easy. The ingredients are always straightforward when making a risotto. The main thing you need to worry about with the risotto is just making sure it doesn't burn, doesn't stick, right? Because it's a slow process of adding broth as it's needed as you're cooking it, right? So now we're gonna add the risotto in and we're gonna let it toast up a little bit and absorb some of that oil and all the flavor from the
How long
onions.
will it take this one to cook, chef?
The risotto, the final cooking process is anywhere from 15 to 18 minutes, depending on the strength of your oven, of your pan, or even the type of rice that you're using. I'm using an arborio base, which usually takes around 17, 18 minutes. But there's other variations of Italian rices. There's cannerolis and there's a few others also that take a little bit less time, smaller seed. Arborio is the best because it has the most starch to it, becomes a nice creamy risotto when it's finished. So now once the rice itself has toasted a little bit and gotten all that flavor, we're gonna take about a 1/4 cup of white wine and we're gonna add that into there. We're gonna let that white wine absorb into the rice and at the same time evaporate. We're gonna be building lots of flavor with this. Once that is evaporated and dried up a little bit, we're gonna start adding our broth. I'm gonna be using a beef broth once again for this here because we're serving it with the ossobuco. right?
Okay.
So we want to keep those flavors together and let them meld all together. So slowly but surely, we're gonna add the stock to it and let it cook. As it's cooking, the rice will absorb the stock, and at that point, you need to continue adding more stock. So what you want to do is when you want to start at the point where you want to start making your rice is when you've got maybe either your ossobuco is already finished their hour-and-a-half cooking time, or there's about 15 to 20 minutes left, because risottos are made to be cooked and eaten. You cannot let them sit for any amount of time, because they will turn very starchy, very clumpy. It overcooks, it becomes soft and mushy in your mouth. You want your rice to still have a little bit of a bite to it.
That's a very good, chef. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, so now as your risotto's cooking, once again, slowly adding the broth to it as it's evaporating. You add the broth slowly to it, right?
Good, chef. Okay.
We're gonna make the topping, basically the garnish for this dish. Okay, it's called a gremolata. Gremolata is an Italian accompaniment, which is mainly used with traditionally used with the ossobuco, right? So we're gonna take is a little bit of parsley, about a half a cup or so. Flat leaf Italian parsley. Make sure it's good and washed before you use it. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take it and give it a nice chop. You want to get it into a pretty fine chop. You don't want to get it too fine or not too coarse. So you want to have a good and chop so that it's easy to eat, and it's also easy to garnish with, right? So the ingredients that we're going to need for this gremolata is parsley, minced garlic, lemon zest, a little bit of lemon juice, and olive oil, salt and pepper just to taste, okay?
Okay.
So I've basically got 2 tablespoons of lemon zest already done ahead of time. I'm gonna take the parsley, add
Is
that.
that a lemon?
It's the lemon
pudding?
zest, yes.
Lemon zest.
I'm gonna add the parsley to the lemon zest. About 2 cloves of garlic worth of garlic to the mix. Touch of salt,
Is that an olive oil, chef?
touch of
We're
pepper.
using that one?
Yep. A little bit of olive oil, and the juice of a half a lemon.
Wow, chef, that's very good. You're a good executive chef, eh?
I try my best. I like to eat, I like good food, so it makes my life a little bit easier too when you're used to doing all this. And then you take all your ingredients in a dish and you're gonna mix it all together, make sure it's good and combined. Okay, you don't wanna make this too far in advance, but at the same time you wanna give it some time for the flavors to meld and get all good and melded and all flavor based and strong with flavor. That was terrible. What you want to do this is ahead of time, so that it gives time for all the flavors to melt together and create this nice robust lemony topping, which is going to give a little bit of freshness also to the dish. So we'll keep that aside for now until we're ready to go. All right, okay, here we go. So I mean, this is something fun to do when you have guests at home. You know what I mean? You guys could, to cook the risotto or whatnot. You can get people involved. You can have them help you out while you're doing your dish. It's not something difficult, but you can also talk about it and do these things, right? It's not so difficult that you have to go to a restaurant to have it. This can be done at home. Now, the risotto has been cooking for about 15, 16 minutes now.
Okay.
As you can see, it started to absorb all the liquid. Now we're gonna we're gonna finish it off. We're gonna take a little bit of the Spanish saffron. You're looking at about a teaspoon worth. Add that in there, mix it around. That's gonna give it a nice rich, a nice saffron flavor, okay? And it's gonna help to elevate this dish. Then we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of butter. So I never said that this dish was healthy, but it is very tasty. So we're adding our butter to there and let the butter melt into the risotto. And we're gonna add the Parmesan cheese. We're looking at about a 1/4 cup of Parmigiano cheese.
Wow, it's cool, chef. Wow, it's delicious.
It's a wonderful dish. Now what the butter and the cheese are gonna do is gonna give it a wonderful creamy texture and a creamy flavor to the rice itself. Okay, so we're just gonna let that finish it off. About a minute or so. Let everything all combine nicely and get all the flavors here. At this point now, we're gonna give it a little bit of a taste, okay, to see if we're gonna have to add any more salt or any more pepper to it, okay? We're almost there. I think just a little bit more black pepper.
Right. Everything's good, chef.
Excellent.
Delicious. Very delicious.
So now we're gonna plate. So we got 4 portions, so we're gonna use 4 dishes.
All right, guys, you see how to cook the chef?
And now, thanks to the magic of television, we've got the ossobuco that's been cooking for an hour and a half.
This is the finished product. The ossobuco. It's nice. Tastes good.
So as you can see now, all those flavors have combined. All the flavors have gotten there. The color has deepened in regards for with the tomato sauce and the beef broth and everything else in between. So the recipe, Alfred, I think
Yes.
we're gonna be posting it online. Get people to get it if they just scroll down on the video, or
Yeah, you can check on my my website.
or on your website.
Yeah,
Okay,
my
very
website,
nice, very nice.
www.pangostibulart.ca. Yeah.
Excellent. So you can see the risotto has absorbed all the liquid. It's become nice and creamy, and this is gonna count for our base to the dish, right? It's gonna be the accompaniment to the ossobuco. So what we want to do is basically take our spoon, okay, and you don't want to overfill the people with the risotto, okay?
right.
So we're looking at about half a cup to a little bit more than half a cup. You're gonna place that onto the bottom of the plate. And now ossobuco, once it's been braising for this hour and a half, it becomes very, very, very tender. So what you want to do is you want to be careful as you're pulling it out of your pan, because it could break. So now what you guys see might get a little bit messy, but we will take care of that after the fact. So, as you can see, the ossobuco is super tender right now. I'm gonna place that right on top
Look at that, guys. It's good.
of the rice.
So I'm gonna hold this one here.
Yes, please. It's falling off the bone. That way you know it's cooked. It's become super tender. All the vegetables have become very soft, and they've melded into almost as if they've disappeared. But there's still little pieces there for you to enjoy. Okay. And then we're gonna just take a little bit of the sauce. We don't want to put too much of the sauce because it might. You don't want it too runny. So we're gonna take a little bit more sauce and just pour that on top. Okay. We'll take our rag and wipe the plates. It's all about presentation. And then we're gonna take our gremolata, and we're gonna serve about a teaspoon, about a teaspoon or so, just on top of the ossobuco.
Looks delicious, chef. Wow, good, man.
A little bit of the rest No big deal. And there you go. This is the finished dish. Risotto alla milanese with ossobuco alla milanese.
There we go, guys. You see? Beautiful dish. Delicious. Tastes good. Okay, chef. Yeah, what's the next step?
So Alfred, this is the finished dish.
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we get Lovely back over here to try it with
Sure,
us?
why not? Yeah, just call. We call. All right.
I hear that.
Hi, Lovely. Well, this is ossobuco alla
Ossobuco.
milanese. We're gonna try it out now and just see what the final product tastes
Alright.
like.
Okay, try and taste it. It's good.
So good.
Came out very nice.
The best. Very good. Thank you to our guest, Chef Alex, lovely Donna, Lona, and everyone for joining us today. I also want to thank the following for making this show possible. Bellevue Manor for our venue, Sweet Obsession for the cakes and pastries, Platinum Entertainment, Association of Italian Chefs of Canada, FM Promotion for my uniforms, DM Studios, and Supertest 215 Productions. Thank you for watching and join us again on the next episode of Pango's Table Art Show. Good day and God bless you.